Hi, so we're going to go through rounding to the nearest whole dollar, and it's kind of early in the course, so maybe you haven't seen yet. If you are stuck on a homework problem, if you go right here to the top right where it says question help, and you go to view an example, it will actually give you a problem that's basically the exact same problem, it just has different numbers, and it'll walk you through the steps. So you can see here that it tells you that to estimate the sum, round each cost to the nearest dollar, and then add the results. So how do you round each cost to the nearest dollar? Well, the rule for rounding in general, we're going to start here. I'm going to use this $9.54 as the example. So the rule for rounding in general is, first of all, figure out what place it is that you're trying to round. So because it says the nearest dollar, that means we're going to be rounding the 9. And we're either going to decide to leave that 9 as a 9, or we're going to do what we call rounding it up. We're going to round it up to 10. And the rule for deciding whether you're going to leave that number the same or round it up is that you look at the digit to the right. So in order to decide how we're going to round the 9, we have to actually look at the number to the right, which in this case is a 5. And the rule for rounding is this. So you see here I have step 1 for rounding. Step 1, look at the digit to the right. So that's why I drew my arrow to the right. The digit to the right of the 9 is going to be that 5. And then here in step 2, if the digit to the right, so again we're talking about the 5 in this case, is 5 or greater, you round up. So in this case, the 5 is obviously 5 or bigger because it's a 5, right? So what we mean by rounding up is that now we are going to turn this 9, we're going to round it up to a 10. So $9.54 rounded up to the nearest dollar will be an even $10. So now let's look at the second dollar amount in the problem. The second dollar amount is $6.03. So $6.03. Oops, I don't know why I just wrote an 8. That was kind of silly. $6.03. So again, we're rounding to the nearest dollar, which means we're rounding this number 6 right here. We're trying to decide, are we going to round the 6 up to 7, or are we going to leave it as a 6? And remember, step 1, look at the number to the right. In this case, we're looking at the 0. If that number is 5 or greater, then we round the number up. Now 0 is obviously smaller than 5, so that means that we are going to leave $6 rounded to the nearest whole dollar is simply going to be 6. We are not going to round it up. Okay, now for the next one, $13.39. So in this case, we are trying to decide, are we going to round this $13, are we going to round it up to $14, or are we going to leave it the same and leave it as $13? So again, we're looking at, so basically we're trying to decide, are we turning this 3 into a 4, or are we leaving it as a 3? So again, we are going to look at the number to the right, which in this case is a 3. 3 is smaller than 5, so that means that we are going to follow the rule and leave this as just a plain old 13. We are not going to round it up to 14. So $13.39 rounded to the nearest whole dollar is $13. What I'm going to suggest you do now is that you pause the video, look at the last two numbers in the practice problem, the $1.86 and the $22.59, and check to see if if you can figure out how you would round it, and then unpause the video and check it out yourself. Okay, I'm going to assume that you have paused the video and that you tried rounding $1.86 and $22.59 on your own. So now I'm going to give you the answer. So for $1.86, we are trying to decide whether to round that 1. We're going to round it either up to 2 or we're going to leave it as a 1. In order to make that decision, we're going to look at the number to the right, which in this case is an 8. So because that 8 is bigger than 5, we're going to round $1.86 to 2. That little squiggly sign that I just made is it's like a squiggly equal sign means is approximately. We use this a lot when we're rounding. So $1.86 is going to be rounded up to $2. And last but not least, there's 22. We're trying to decide whether to round it up to 23 or whether we're going to leave it as 22. And if I look to the right again, that is a number 5. 5 is obviously 5 or bigger. So we are also going to round 22 up so that it will be 23. So now we have all of our numbers rounded to the nearest whole number. We have 10, 6, 13, 2, and 23. So if I look at what the directions tell me to do, it says add the results. So I'm going to add all of those numbers together in order to get my final solution. If I've added correctly, that means I should get $54. And again, the good thing about the little example problems here provided by the book is that I can hit continue. Notice they've rounded. They got all the same numbers that we did. Continue, add it together, got $54. So I know that I did it correctly. So rounded to the nearest dollar, the total cost is about, remember we're estimating, so it's not 54, but it's about $54. I hope that helps you to figure out what you need to do to solve this one. Let me know if you have any other questions.